Oh, that's annoying. I've got to do this thing again.
Folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated? Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Sorry about that. Thought I was live already on the other one. Okay, so busy day today. We've got the news. So plenty of PMI news. A lot of the time it's going to be choppy as well, because what will happen is you've got manufacturing and services, and often one will be negative, one will be positive. Okay, if we get all negative, all under 50, all across the board, then we can have a smoother run. It could be that one-sided volatility. Otherwise, all positive will give you nice smooth run also another nice smooth run, but we don't always get positive or negative. We often get positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. A number over 50 is good, like expansionary, like actually growing. Number under 50 is contractionary. So you can see they've only got one. That's just the services for German that they're forecasting that is going to be actual positive growth. But we'll see. So it's going to be a bumpy ride. So I'm not really expecting. I'll be pleasantly surprised if we get clean runs. Anyway, so looking here at the chart, we'll do a little bit of a top down. Hey, Tom. Okay, so top down, we've got we pushed down all the way yesterday on this candle in this London session. Nice little reaction from 15,700 for like 60 odd pips, but it was just selling all the way down pretty much. I was hoping that we're going to create that top wick for the weekly candle before that sell off, but that wasn't correct. So, all right, it's all right. Let's go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, what we've got is this is where we kicked off things, and then we just drove. So this candle here contained a lot of liquidity. So I do think we're going up to that, at least to this wick area. So I've got a few little ideas that I'll shout out. Given that we are creating like New York, this is basically New York session. Most of this blue candle, and then this one as well. So New York did do the recovery. Okay, there is the tensions. Like, I do think we'll probably see that bullishness. I know I prefer to buy stocks. I prefer to buy than sell, because I do think the moves are a lot cleaner, and like notoriously indices are always bullish. You know, if you go back to the little dinosaur is, like, you do like, this, we don't get as much data on German 40, but like you look at the US indices that are correlated pretty highly with European indices, you can see like you'd rather just, every time you get like decent pullbacks, the bulls will always want to step in. So you do get it is nicer, like it's a smoother ride to buy, and I do have a preference for it, but you can't just buy every single day. Okay, so daily closed like a little bit of a doji, but we've had like 5 consecutive bearish days. But we finally had a New York session that was relatively positive, and that was coming off of this wick, this nice little bullish wick that just rose price up from there. So I'll bring up my lines again. Just a reminder, like the black thick lines are your monthly closes. So they're going to always stay because like they're pretty sensitive on a lower time frame. But then we had this blue and this purple and green section, and this is more or less like the 50% of this liquidity candle. I've just refined a little bit on the 4-hour chart, okay, but more or less where we were reacting to yesterday was the 50% of it. Oh, I'm gonna have to. You can see right here. It's the 50% of that daily liquidity candle. So great area. That's where I was looking for those buys from. Didn't quite get the low yesterday after it just sold, but did manage to get some buys late in the session around lunchtime. I'll just move that back. There we go. All right, 4-hour. 4-hour, I'm expecting it to be a bit bullish to like retest where price dropped yesterday, because you don't often get a euro high that is left untouched, and this is one of those situations where the euro high didn't get London didn't take it, so I'm expecting price to push up to this little area somewhere inside of here. We've got the doji from New York high. I truly expect that one to be taken at the very least as well, so that does give us some upward momentum, and then we've got some nice clean traffic under areas here that I'll bring up on the lower time frame. Okay, so let's go 2-hour. 2-hour. So there's that little doji that I'm looking for. I'll bring up the charts now. They're drawing tools. So it'd be nice if we can get that momentum up. The 1-hour, yeah, I mean, news in 25 minutes will probably whipsaw and create wicks. So it might be a little bit hard to get in unless it's going to be smooth, but we'll see. Then when we get down to like, it's clear on the 30 minutes. So let me just mark up that still you got the 45-minute high, 2-hour doji high, also your New York high. This is creating like a lovely looking liquidity candle as well, where it broke the low of the previous candle and it's looking like it's closing strong, right? So we can imagine that we can see a little pop unless we get like, basically we were looking to get that little pop after Europe opened, but the last 3 minutes, or last 10 minutes of yesterday's Europe Open, like Frankfurt candle open, that first hour was the one that actually just dropped, and then it just dropped ever since then. So if this can maintain and close something like this, I can imagine we're pushing up to take out that doji high, perhaps into this liquidity area. Okay, so 30-minute, we've got some same thing. Let's just go down to 15-minute. Okay, so the 15-minute, actually, if I just go 5-minute, I'll just drop right down here. No, 15 minutes is good. Okay, so the other clear zones that we have are this candle, this area. So if we can get like a break underneath here, and then a second candle breaking the low, I'd say this is a very nice zone, nice 40 pip zone. Same thing with this area as well. So taking the second break under like Asian 50%, break, retest, drop, break, retest, drop. Okay, so they're the kind of ideas. This area though, this is like my line in the sand, because you've got a, like this. So it's been a previous resistance in yesterday's London session. Little couple wick rejections, and then we dropped. Then price came down again, up, and then Asian session did a little retest and then pushed up. So if this area can hold indeed again without taking out some of these higher liquidity areas, then we can get buys from down here, potentially up, and that could be like a 100 pip move if we can hold. If we're failing to hold, then and we're breaking through it, then I can see clean traffic underneath here, and then clean traffic underneath here as well. Just be careful of the first break. Often once you break a low the first time, you do get these little pullbacks. So yeah, it's pretty much the plan with PMIs can be can be choppy. What do you guys think? Mm-hmm. That's what I think. They had some Israel looking like they're working to try de-escalate the situation, or at least enough to get more hostages out. So I guess the longer that they can delay that, any ground invasion or intensifying attacks, then you're going to see some of these flights to safe havens unwind. Morning, Craig. How are you, buddy? So I think that's a real possibility that we do finally get that top wick. You'd like to see that 15-minute doji taken out, Asian low, and then a push up. Yeah, that would make sense too. That means that this would just come down lower. What was that, Chris? This one here. 50%. Yeah. 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 Yeah, Dave did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As long as we've got a clear idea to execute on. Yeah. Not bad, mate. Not bad. I know, mate. I know. Checking the weather. Just had to turn the heater on over here. I was trying to hold out to November. What was that? Who was that? 31. I've got, what have I got today? I got 10. I got 10 and rain. Oh, hey Simon, how are you? Yeah, not bad. Excited for another day in the office. Not really. Okay. Who has? Oh yeah, yeah. You should have seen the passport photo today. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, it's funny, man. She looks like a little angry drunk human. Just woke up when we're trying to take a photo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do I trade NQ? No, I just in the mornings I'm just focused on German 40 only. So whenever anyone asks to like look at something else, it's they can do it. But I'm only focused on German 40 in the morning. German 40 mornings, gold in the afternoon. Oh, yeah, mate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I jumped in early. I jumped in really early to a little trade that's running at the moment, but that was I couldn't really sleep, so that was back over here. Thinking that I wasn't I didn't put any size on it whatsoever because I thought price would give it a few goes, but now it's just pushing. So I'm thinking like this one here is just running. This momentum is what we saw the opposite of yesterday, when the last like few minutes just started to sink. So I'm expecting it's going to do that push straight up. Yeah. If we look at yesterday's, I'll go on the. Okay. I'll just show you. Look at the 15-minute chart up the top left. Now it's this last 15 minutes. It was basically the last 10 minutes that did that move down. That dropped like 25 pips just before the London Open, and then London just sank. And I wonder if this is going to do the same thing. It's in the last really in the last 10 minutes or so, like 12 minutes, we've pushed up and we've gone. This is that 20 pips. I've seen a little rejection here. This is the open right now. Took a buy from 14,800. Alrighty. Look at this dive. You can see when I was doing the pathway, like sort of planning this idea, this last 30-minute candle is really just pushed up to these like areas where I thought we're going to push towards. So I was kind of hoping that would be able to come down first to grab it from here, because this is getting pretty uncomfortably close to the New York high as well. But I'm going to really caution anyone like jumping into anything too aggressively, because you've got 15 minutes and you're going to start getting some PMI news, inflationary news. Took 80%. Good move. Just before the London Open. I've been having issues. Who did it go? I'm probably going to be cautious. Been having a lot of issues with that. The MT5 staying like it's just freezing constantly. So I've got a solution. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to reverse my copy trader, I think, because what I was doing, I was copying the trades from the challenge account to my personal account so that I'm not missing out on things. But it was getting a little bit just annoying to like, I was making some mistakes, as in like trying to get all the streams going at the same time and doing the analysis with plenty of time, not rushing that, because that's the most important thing. Then getting all the MetaTraders up, making sure the copy trader was working, and it was just I realized a lot of the time my personal one wasn't on, which is annoying. It wasn't working. So and then it was freezing So what I've done is I'm gonna switch it today, so that because I'm gonna switch it from my normal broker, my personal account, to copy onto the challenge account, because I can't manage from the challenge account, because it's just around this time it freezes. It's always freezing. I was checking it out. It's really weird. It freezes when it's near the entry. When it's not near the entry, it seemed to be, or when it was not near the, it was freezing when it was near the order levels, not when it was in the middle. So when it came, like I was watching on the chart to like see when I'm going to secure or manage the trade, and then I'll be watching a candle that's just still, and then I look at TradingView, and TradingView is moving still, and my other broker is moving, but the one I was actually watching is still, and then price, it's either it started drifting all the way back, and I'm still seeing the candle like stuck here. Then terrible conditions. So I think I'm going to manage from the other side. That's going to be my solution. Sorry. Only if you're like taking signals and things, but if you can show where the original source was, so especially if I've got like video evidence of those trades. But you can use EAs, but you've got to show that these are your own ideas. Beauty. Look at this. This is the kind of move I wish we got yesterday. Drop down and then start taking up to push up. Let's see if we get that little 2-hour doji high. These are the best moves. When you get the price push down initially, take this liquidity with London and then rise. These ones are the ones I like. Not those really aggressive days like yesterday. Like these yesterday's price action from the London Open is, if you had to like what's the highest probability of price action coming out of London Open, this yesterday's one is not normal. So it's hard to gauge that. Sometimes you got like a real clear read based on fundamentals, but it kind of caught me off guard, yesterday's one. Alrighty. Love seeing reactions. Have a 30-minute doji high in the close of the bullish candle. Oh, yeah, nice one. Nice, Deb. All right, so I'm watching very close to see what happens at yesterday's London high, which is 14,840, more or less. And then we'll see the reaction in 8 minutes' time when PMI comes out. So reacting nicely off this two-hour doji high. Remember, this 2-hour doji high is also like 15-minute, 1 hour, 45-minute. This is your New York high. So we know there's a lot of liquidity sitting at a New York high. Oh, Carl? Yeah, correct. I do. Why do I use Pepperstone? Oh, this one, this broker feed. That's what you're asking. Because that's my usual accounts, so it matches my MetaTrader. Otherwise, because there's been some times um, when I've given like pending order ideas and need to be very clear the numbers because the numbers can be different. So depending on what people's broker that they use, like I use this because I'll set this exactly onto onto my MetaTrader. But like there was an idea the other day, um, last week, earlier last week on crude oil, and the level I gave, I realized like some people got triggered in early, and it was that their broker had it was about 30 points different they were quoting. So some people were triggered in early. Then I was like, you shouldn't be in right now. If it like based on price action, you shouldn't have been in. Um, and then and then by the time it hit the high, it dropped like 160 pips. But then it hit a no wick 4 hour candle, and then it just went all the way back to the entry again. Um, but it was initially that confusion was like, well, trying to get in at 87.10, and some people were in way early because of the price difference on the feed. So I use Pepperstone because it matches exactly with my MetaTrader. But if I do a different feed, sometimes it's like 20, 30 points different. So for me to do pending orders on trading view, very different for to copy it across. Yeah, yeah. And then there are some other brokers feeds that make charts look nice, as in each candle will open where the previous one closed. So you don't really get gaps in the charts, and that can look visually really nice. But also it's not entirely accurate as well. All right, so if we can close bearish under here, this is looking like a full on liquidity candle. Hey, Danny. All right, so we've got 3 minutes and 8 seconds, and we've got the first round of PMI data. So I don't want to be in really anything when all this chop comes out. The bigger one's going to be in 18 minutes time for the actual German PMI. So that would be a better tell. And I think on PMI days, the move does come a little bit later, generally. Waits to like, we've got that data coming out. We've got a few 30-minute candles closing. We've got fairly clear zones established. And then we can start to see where the general move is going to go. But at the moment, I would say like very good chance that we're still going to keep on drifting higher. I think to take out the weekly, to extend the weekly high, because the weekly high is not very large at this moment. Do you recommend closing all trades? I just think make sure that there's no risk in them. I do have a swing trade going. Not on this though, but on Aussie US. I'll go to that. I'll go to that later on. But that's a sell. But because it's a swing trade, I'm happy to let that stay on. But all these little scalps, like what we're doing in the London session, yeah, it's pretty risky to have it on, having a scalp on throughout this inflationary news. All right, here we go. 1 minute. Okay, first bout coming out now. ACAP's completely frozen. What's that? Both of them. Okay, so you got mixed. This is typical what happens. Manufacturing is typically lagging. Services remains fairly strong, like restaurants and like travel, like still like decent weather in Europe. Still, you got there's a services is usually fairly resilient, but in the times of like high interest rates, people can buy like actual manufacturing orders. That's definitely on the decline. So it came in under expected. Services over expectations, still under 50, which is showing a decline, a contraction, but it's mixed. And so often when you have one of these mixed, a lot of the Eurozone follows. So we might have mixed all across the board, which is just sort of up and down. First time tuning in. What broker do you use in Australia? So for this Blue Guardian challenge, they use an 8cap. For my personal accounts, I use. I mean, we've got other sponsors here, so I think I'm better off not mentioning on Trading Nut channel. But you use Pepperstone. Oh, I did it. Are you serious? Yeah. Oh, holy. Yeah, that's scary. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Yeah. What I'd like, could I? Oh, what was that? Because I use Pepperstone on my personal account. They're the ones that I've gone with. Black Bull who is one of the sponsors on here. They are actually an excellent broker, but because they're in New Zealand, I don't want to send my money to New Zealand. I want to have it so it's like it's no point. I mean, they're FCA regulated. I think it's FCA. That's in New Zealand. So that means there's no issues of you getting your money out because they've got to hold it in like a proper bank and they've got to follow, like they've got to release it to you straight away. But for me doing like an overseas transfer, it takes longer than because I did a withdrawal on my personal account last night and I well and truly expect it to be here anytime today. Well, this afternoon. So that's why I like keeping it there. Plus, I've got a good relationship with Pepperstone, been with them for a long time. But I haven't had the same issues that you have had with your terminal freezing. That's for sure. But I have had that with other brokers. So we need to see what's going on. What I would recommend is set it up. The danger is, do you have it on your phone? Your MT5? Okay, so like that's my backup plan. Like I'll have it on my phone, and the phone connection is different to the computer connection, so that when you like if my computer was stuck, I can close it on my phone. Yeah, the problem is it just makes it so easy to trade from anywhere when it's on your phone. Yeah, as long as you're fairly strict. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we'll have a look at maybe it's the server that you're on. I know some servers are a little bit patchy, so Arvin's giving some suggestions in the chat box. Sometimes it's not about the ping. Sometimes the server just doesn't work. Did I have any problems setting up the 8cap with TradingView? Well, the challenge account is 8cap on MetaTrader, so I've never tried logging in to the trading panel here. But I really don't like. I've tried trading on TradingView. I can't stand it. There's a slight delay. I've been in a trade on TradingView, so I'll do like, where's paper trade? Where I've bought and I couldn't figure out how to close partials. Like if I just buy here, so I'm buying, I don't know how to, this is paper trade, guys. This is not real trade. I don't know how to, like if I click close position, it closes the whole thing. It doesn't give me an option to close some. And then I've thought, oh, well, I'll try, if I buy again, what I've also done is thought, okay, well, maybe it's, maybe I want to reverse position. And I've done that. And it's just closed my buy, entered me into a sell. I'm like, oh, what the, because I've actually been in like live trades. So then, and then when I couldn't figure out how to close partials easily. Then when I went in and I tried to go through my trade journal, I was like, I'm pretty sure I just like, okay, account history, where I've gone and yeah. So that last trade that was on was a sell. Right? It was a sell, that very last one. Oh, wait, is this? Yeah, German 40. Oh, no, this is different pricing. Filled. Yeah, there we go. The last one was a sell. But what they do, no, what they do is it would tell you, it will show you what the most recent thing was. So like if I sold, to close my position, I have to put a buy order in to close it out. So then it comes up as the opposite. So you've always got to work like it's not the last trade is not the last trade. The last trade here is your last order to close your trade. So you got to go back to the before one. So I felt that really, when I was trying to journal, I was really getting lost. So I did. Yeah. Oh, is it one click on there? Is that what it's doing? Ah, okay. There we go. Thanks for that, Brett. So anyway, I didn't really enjoy the process. So like I went back to MetaTrader. Hey, actually. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did download it, but like I didn't. What am I doing? G40. This is London High. C Trade is good. C Trade is good. I'm really happy with MetaTrader. Like I really got no issues with it whatsoever. Apart from, I mean, like if it's because I don't normally get anything freezing, but I've been experiencing a lot of freezing with when I've gone off of my usual accounts. So if that was across everything, then I'd be sick of MetaTrader and I'd go to something else. But when I downloaded C Trade, I was like, oh, I don't want to have to learn how to use this right now. Okay. Open the trade window at the bottom, close from there. You can get the option. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ian. All right. So we've got 3 minutes and we've got the German PMI. So let's see what this one comes out as. I like PMI when I've got plenty of time to trade. When you've got plenty of time, it's actually really nice. When you've got limited time and you need to try force a trade, when you've got news coming out every 15, 30 minutes, I'd rather just sort of watch price and then plan. Like, I really like these ideas. These ideas for later on. What I'll have is I'll have an alert set. Okay, an alert set here. And when the alert goes off, it's not for me to enter a trade. It's for me to look at charts. And then if I see a bit of a pullback or I see price, like if price comes down and I see a nice pullback, then under here is a must. If I see price come down and then it's sort of just hesitating here, then I don't know if I'm doing this leg to bounce up or I'm creating the resistance underneath. And usually then if that's the case, like once it's breaking and they get a candle closing, I get into the move, but I get only part of the move. I don't enter like here. But then the nice clean zone is under here as well. So I'll have 2 alerts. And the first alert is going to be just to watch charts, watch price action for a little bit. If it gives a bit of a pullback, then I'll reset this alert. And the next time it's going down, then I'll look to enter. So I like to take the second break after breaking a little swing. So these are my clear zones, but that might not come to like lunchtime. Or if we are going to just have a recovery day, then I need to watch price further because I've got too many danger zones. Like New York high was a danger zone, London high was a danger zone. This 30-minute liquidity candle from the Euro high from yesterday. So this is the top of the Monday weekly candle. This is a danger zone as well because we are, we've got to understand that we are quite bearish for the last few weeks. But when the bulls want to get into the market, they usually get in after a new low has been printed. So once a new low has been printed, which indeed we did yesterday, the bulls can come in and we can get a nice recovery. And when market's bullish, it's beautiful. When it's bearish, it drops. Fear is stronger than greed. So when the big boys are scared and they're moving their monies into safe haven, it's aggressive. When it's bullish, the moves are much cleaner. Yeah, danger zone. All right, so 8 seconds. Now we've got the German PMI. Little gap. See that gapped up? Let's see what it was. Takes a while for it to come out. It was good numbers for manufacturing, as in 0.6 higher. Actual was 40.6. Forecast is 40.1. So poor numbers, like really poor numbers, but not as poor as they forecast. And services was 48. So see over here, we got mixed again, but this time manufacturing and services were mixed. Someone's maxed out. Someone's full margin. Mixed again. Bloody hell. So even the one that was going to be above 50, expansionary, came in contractionary. So at least we've got 30 minutes now of a reprieve before we get Eurozone. So this will be Eurozone in general. Okay. Because we've got the France and Germany. They'll give their numbers separately, but then Eurozone, the rest of the countries, Italy, Spain, all of them, they'll sort of whatever data they can get, they'll just bundle it all together, and that'll just be your Euro zone. You will get individual countries bringing out their PMI data. I think Spain will when they release it. I think they do it on a different day, but whatever countries that they do get PMI, they don't specify individually. They just bundle it together. Got to go, Ivan? Yeah, not a bad day to miss if you're going to miss a day or a open. So we expect to see bearishness from here with the German coming out fairly bad. For the only positive one that they had came out negative. And we're taking London high now. 30-minute candle, just got a little gap in price. Let's see. First sign of it being able to do the deeper retracement will be closing underneath here. Then we've got the little doji. So at the moment, we're still contained within this 15-minute doji. I'm definitely not piling into sells because the price still has been quite bullish. And we've still got British news to come out. What's this? Alrighty. All right, so London, as soon as we've opened the 5-minute chart, dropped initially, pushed up, came down, retested, picked up more, pushed up, took out their London high over to the left. Now on the back of the news coming out, we're seeing a healthy push or drop, rather, not push, dropping. Taking out their own low now that they created. Seeing a little, it's stalling just here for now. We've got no wick over here. We've got another no wick from Euro. So I wonder if we are wicking back up and then breaking this low, if we can take at least back down to this Euro low. Damn, come on. I was hoping to retest this at 14,805 and then drop. And then we could have traded underneath 14,800 towards this area, 14,770 at least. Yes, Mo. This one is not really a rejection candle though. And because that's before the news though, that's the only other issue. You would have been in on the news candle. Yeah, the move that I would have wanted was this. Once this one had pushed down to this low here, was to have that little retracement. Okay, react from somewhere here, and then as it was flipping bearish again, taking the second break under here to push down. It would have at least given a little bit of a, like, creating that top wick would have grabbed that fuel to be able to fund that move down. It's not the ideal entry, but super hard to get into this. Well, it's a 3-minute HCS. This is definitely a 3-minute Mo. That's a beautiful one for a 3-minute. The first candle broke the high of the candle to the left and then closed bearish. Then you've got the little doji, and then you've got this one that took the high of the doji and then started breaking the low. It doesn't matter. You just want to see it pause. You want to see it pause and create liquidity. So a little 3-minute range. Jim Zindi would have picked that up for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was a sell entry, but you would have been selling on the news. But I mean, tiny stop loss. Just so risky trading. Like, this is the actual news candle. So, but that's a nice setup right there. All right. Well, if a price can come up, create a resistance, we can potentially retest this low. Because if this has created it now, created a resistance. Now, after the move has gone down, we can get the continuation. should at least come down to this area, but you've got no room anymore. Sell in from here. Yeah. Yeah. I want to see what it does with this little doji low. Yeah, it's taken now. Euro low is next. Okay. So I like this one to create it, closes a doji, and then price to pull back, and then we'll look to go down. If we visualize the 15-minute at this stage, 15-minute will be if we can close the doji, and then next one pull back a little bit, you'll be leaving like a nice healthy bearish candle with a long bottom wick, and the next candle, if it creates a top wick and then starts breaking its low, what I'm visualizing over on the left hand side here is that this I'll draw the second candle first, something like that, and this one to leave like a nice, maybe not so much, like maybe like a wick like that, and this one to wick up. Okay, and then do the wick fill, and I'll try execute the trade somewhere along here to go back down. So this one created that doji. Okay, now this next 3 minutes, we want to see price retrace some. And then 15-minute, it'll be wick up, wick down. So you can either try get it in the top wick of the next candle if it does, or I'll move this pathway so it's not confusing anything. Or once it's done the wick, the top wick, you might want to wait till it flips. Okay, so just push up a little bit more. So it gives us a nice healthy wick to fill. Damn, man. It's not going to set up. Okay, if we can, just going to keep my eye on this candle, this area. What's gold doing? 76, not moving, hey? If it can just form a top wick and then break under here again, it'll give me a clean entry. But I don't know where I'm going to put my stop loss. If I'm entering here without the wick, I don't know where the stop loss goes. Well, I know where the stop loss can go, but it's too far away. So it don't make sense to enter on it. All right, I'm going to pop over and grab a coffee. I'm going to set a little alert here because I want to see a wick at least retest this zone. And if we can break this area again, I think we can squeeze out like a late entry. But I'll be back, right? Alrighty, alert went off. So definitely retraced enough. Now breaking under here a second time, then that would be the entry. Or if we can see price action and start seeing some reversals here, like wicking up and then breaking the lows, that could be a potential late entry. But we want to see like a sort of rounded top, rejection wicks, and then we can look the target back down here and hopefully then break underneath. So it was like a little support, broke under, come up, retest. Oh man, the 1 minute's tough. Okay. If price pull back a little bit, I'll jump in for a sell. I don't like taking these 1 minute entries. Okay, so at least 3 minutes closed. If we can get a little wick up. Okay, gonna enter a sell here. See if we can just keep on driving lower. At least take out the low, break the low, and drive down to 14,750. Stop loss is about 20 pips. Come on, keep dropping. Beautiful. Come on. Very nice. Now, yesterday I was up 1-1, and then it came back to entry, and then it froze on me, and then I thought I was at entry, and then it closed as it was pretty much break even, but it wasn't. You know, it could have been taking a loss on it. It was silly, as in like just crazy things happen for it. When you're at 1-1, don't ever let it become a loss. Finally found the entry, little cell, MT5 showed this error. I know, put open trade. You got, is there up the top, is top right, is the little magic keys. Have you allowed auto trading? Sometimes it just, yeah, you haven't got auto trading on. See at the top of your MetaTrader, there's a little, it says auto trade, and it should be like a little red square next to it. The top row of your MetaTrader, all the other options, like near your time studies and that. Do you see that? Is it got a little red square, or has it got a green triangle? Yeah, that's it. You got to turn that so it's green, and then that little thing will go blue. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, you don't need to. If this doesn't go now, if it's rejecting again, I'll just close this for break even. Only up 1.7, was up 14. $16 actually, according to this. Now it's break even again. All right, I'll move my stop to break even because we're at the close of the candle. So we've got news coming in. So I'm just going to close this one right now. So secured a little bit down here. And now with the 1 hour candle coming to a close, we've got news again. I'm not into holding that across this news, this little scalp. What was that? Okay. It was worth a shot. Price came down, nice and bearish. Okay. Then came up, created that little resistance. Came down, retested the low. That's your triangle. Oh, look at that gap up. Yeah, good move for closing it. So let's check the news again. Five-minute liquidity candle bullish. Yeah. Let's see. Bad numbers. At least it wasn't good and bad, but it's pretty close to expectations. 0.6 off. This one here is 0.9 off. You're going to have some Aussie volatility coming through as well. Let's see if this orange folder for the rest of the Eurozone, let's see if that can create that bearishness. So same idea still stands, that with the 30-minute candle, perhaps it can wick up. I prefer it to a bit of a higher wick up, like maybe retest this 14,805 and then start to break under into this wick. Then it could do look for wick fill, potentially then it can break under. So we've got more negative numbers. If you had to like do a balance across all the PMI, we did get, it was a bit more negative than positive, but all of the numbers came under 50 as well. But if the big boys, if they really want to push price and get a better price from up higher, they don't care about the news. The news was expected to be bad. So just because news is bad doesn't mean that price goes down. But it'd be nice if this candle, it's a bit annoying that it gapped up, but if it can create a bit of a top wick, we're not really trading the extremes here, which I really do like to trade the extremes. This is where we really see that excellent risk reward potential. But if once it starts trending, we don't need to be in here necessarily. If the conditions aren't right, we can wait for price to make a low, price to come back up, and then over here it'll be like, could be quite bouncy, right? But once we start forming the top wick and start breaking down again, then there's a very good chance that we'll continue this 30-minute momentum to the downside. Perhaps once we break under here again, then we would expect it to go down at least another 20 odd pips. So that could be like a little late move. But if we stay stuck above here, holding that support, I don't totally feel comfortable buying from this zone, because I didn't really have any of these areas apart from Euro Open. It wasn't really an area for me to anticipate buys from. I was really expecting it to be maybe down this area to then start pushing bullish. So I don't like taking buys from this zone. But if we can wick down and we're starting to push back up, maybe if we're closing back above here, then I can say, well, we're going to finish the job now and go towards the Euro high. But again, that's going to be a bit more waiting, and I just simply don't have the time to wait that long today. I've got the ideas for later on, 100%. Same goes for here. If we're really shrugging off all of this PMI data, and especially the pound PMI data that comes in 30 minutes time, and we're still breaking above all these levels, then you've got a real easy one to push up to the New York high, like trading above here up to the previous New York high on Friday. That's a lovely range if we're shrugging off all of this bearish news, and we're really looking for the big boys pushing price to a better price point to sell from. You got to go, Rob. Nice one, mate. Where are you now? Have you left Italy? You in London now? Are you leaving now? Be in London later today. Oh, enjoy, mate. You're going to have a true London day, true English weather for you waiting here. Oh, you're in Hamburg today. So you say, how's the sailing going, George? All right, be careful here. This is a 5-minute setup for longs. If this holds, if this breaks, then I think we can comfortably trade down maybe 20 pips. Going good. A lot of activities. Really nice evening. Oh, nice one. Glad you're enjoying it, mate. When are you back? How long is it for? 27th. Oh, 3 days. So you're sailing back from Hamburg back to Portsmouth, is it? Oh, France first and Southampton. If this can hold, this... Damn, man, this is super tempting for a buy. Super tempting. Catch a pal. I think I'm going to wait for this 5-minute candle to close and see what it does. And if we're actually breaking above here, I'll trade it up to this wick. and then leave a runner. But I'm going to wait for this one to close because it's really like you've actually got conflicting signals. Well, the difference is this candle. I think what your safer is to say that this is your no trade range. So if we're leaving, if we can get a candle closing, then I think you got a fairly safe move 20 pips to the downside. If we're closing above here, you got a fairly safe move 20 pips to the upside. If this first candle, this one here, if it just closed below this high, then it definitely does. Then you're absolutely right. But because this one closed bullish, I can't use this candle as a rejection candle. Oh, 2.1. What's going on? Did anyone actually take the bias from here to trust this setup? You did. You did. Mm. Yeah, mate. The sell. Oh, you got the sell. I took the sell on this one. Ah, okay, yeah. I got this one. Or did I? Wait a second. Yeah. Yeah, I got the sell. Was here, more or less. Because 1 minute, it's ideal is under here, but you get like this. The spread looks much more pronounced on the 1 minute. Do you guys understand this move, you other guys? Like sell off, come back up, create a resistance candle. You don't really know to get in on that wick anywhere in here, but you see like once you see the sell, price comes up, makes a resistance, you sell back down to the low. This is your 80% trade. So 8 times out of 10, not that you get 80% winners, I'm saying, but 8 times out of 10, when price makes a low, comes back up, makes a lower high, 8 times out of 10, you retest that low. 9 times out of 10, you retest a partial of that low. Then it can go up. This one here, if I zoom out just a little bit, it was this one here. Yeah. It was where London came down initially. That was their little sell before they bought back up, and then came down, retested, pushed back up, and then we broke through the London low, and then that is your first port of call for it to retest, come down. If we're breaking up above here again, you imagine that we're going to fill this area that Joe was pointing out. Yeah, you got Asian high right over here. On which time frame? Oh, this one here. Oh, sorry, over here. Oh, this one to the downside. Gotcha. Yeah, over here. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Got 15 minutes till that. So it's such shitty conditions. Like it's fun. Oh, it's fun, but it's like you can't rush these ones at all. You definitely get paid to wait in this. All right. Well, I'm actually going to because I've got to do something from 9:30 onwards for a couple of hours. I need to give my partner a break so I can go look after Maddie for a little bit. The ideas here, right? Okay, so treat this as a range. Treat this as a range because it's a bit of contradictory. Which way it goes up, you can build an argument for buys and sells. Do we want to have that stress? Probably not. I think you can have this as a safe trading zone. Not take the first break, take the second break. Same deal for underneath here. Same deal for here, actually, matter of fact. Taking it to go, oh, this one might be a bit more impulsive, depending on the news, to just go straight down because we have tried to test this a couple of times. So maybe the second break you just take. If we come back down and we're closing back above, like especially this little thin black line, I think you can trade to a London high quite comfortably, or at least to like this area, 30 odd pips. I think that'd be quite comfortable. Yeah, be careful of like bullishness just coming in for the rest of the day to really set up those sells later on if there's an escalation in this war news. Okay. But I think I'm going to leave those ideas. You guys, any questions with that? Or you're pretty clear with what we've got or some ideas here? It's up to you to monitor them now from like put your alerts, monitor, see what happens. Create your idea without you being in the stress of a trade. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. See how it plays out afterwards. Don't get lured into something, changing, flipping bias here and there. Just really set your idea and stick with it. Cool. All right. No questions, guys? Tomorrow, I'm not doing London. Tomorrow, I've got a busy all morning. I'm gonna see if I can get a pass to do to the New York session for tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll do a makeup session. Okay. Thursday, Fridays as normal. So cool, guys. Trade safe. Be careful of this news coming in 15 more minutes. And then after that, you've got no news left until US PMI to New York session. So this is likely when the move's going to happen onwards from like 10 o'clock onwards. So plan your ideas for then. Don't ever forget to look at the higher time frame. 30-minute time frame is a good one. When I mean higher time frame, I actually mean 30-minute. I don't mean like 4-hour time frame so much. And then just see what happens if we can get out of this range and then where price can go. But got some nice tradable ranges, but they're just small, like 20, 30 pips. But okay, keep your risk low. 1 to 2 trades. Brilliant, guys. Alrighty. Well, I guess because we are doing other side, just remember that if you want to follow the channel, this is also find me on HaydosFx if you search it on YouTube. So this is German 40 in the mornings. Alrighty. So, all right, mate. You make sure you travel safe there. I'll see you next week. Are you going to be here for study session on Saturday? Oh, so Sunday. Okay, you catch a recording. Yep. All right. There's going to be another technical zones for Sunday study session. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you later on. Bye-bye. Thanks, Amir. All you guys have been here. Take care. Bye-bye.